Welcome to Weaving, the mighty yet humble giant. This introduction will take you through the very basics of weaving and open up Pandora's box of textiles. To create a balanced weave, you use the same thread in both the warp and the weft, with the same number of threads per inch. You can use paper weaving to gain a solid technical understanding of how the threads interlace, and this will certainly help you develop your practical weaving skills. So grab some sturdy black card and cut it into 10 equally wide strips, taping them firmly together at the top. These represent your warp threads. Then prepare your weft using white card. To create a plain weave, take a strip of your white weft card and weave over and under the black warp. Weave the second strip to cross over and under the warp threads the opposite way. This makes plain weave and is, as the name suggests, the simplest weave. The second most basic weave is twill. The diagonal lines characteristic of twill are created by moving the pattern of interlacement points one warp thread over with each consecutive weft. Denim is an example of the most simple twill. It's a 2-1 twill, which looks different on either side of the fabric. On the other hand, Batavia, a 2-2 twill, looks the same on both sides of the fabric and creates a staircase effect. A satin weave, unlike plain weave or most twills, has long floating weft threads crossing over 4 or more warps at a time and interlacement points which do not touch. A satin is created according to the same principle but with floating warps. Satin's long floats catch the light, which make shiny yarn types such as silk or linen ideal for satin weaves. By varying the colours of the warp and weft, you can achieve a wide range of colour effects. To try this out, create cardboard strips as you did before, but this time alternate the colour of both your warp and weft. Here is an example of log cabin weave, a plain weave colour effect achieved by alternating colours. The simplest weaves, in combination with the simplest sequence of 2 contrasting colours, can create striking colour effects. Even the most complicated colour effects are generally based on plain weave and simple twills, using a limited colour palette and simple repetition, so keep it simple here. Here's another plain weave colour effect, but this time with 2 thread blocks of colour in both the warp and weft. The 3 basic weaves that you've been introduced to today are the foundation for almost all other weaves. These colour effects are woven in twill with 4 or 6 thread blocks of colour and are called houndstooth. This hand-woven piece with the word binary woven in tackete is a nod to the role weaving and weaving history has played in the development of technology. In jacquard weaving, an early form of binary code was developed through the use of punch cards to control which warp threads are raised and which aren't. Weaving and most weaving documentation systems are completely based on this binary code even today. To learn more about the theory and practice of weaving or to commission a beautiful handcrafted piece, please contact Bessel Vessel Textiles.